right, good morning and welcome everybody. Wow, we had some technical difficulties to overcome there. You not trying to cooperate this morning. I've been trying to get on since 8:38, and it kept getting all the way up to where I could go live, and then it would time out and make me start all the way over. So praise the Lord, though we made it right, made it happen here and at 8:45, so not too bad. Normally 8:40, 8:45 is where we aim for. But YouTube, let me get on. Awesome. We can dive into what we got going on today. That being our pre-market prep session, where each and every day we're here investing in ourselves, right? Trying to get 1% better by going over all the news, notes, information, the landscape, the exposition that's necessary for us to be battle ready when that opening bell rings. That's what we get to execute and make things happen. As we learned from yesterday, you don't have to do all make your money and then leave and you're free for the rest of the day, which is very nice, right? Especially when you have chop like we've been having in markets. So I just think that, it's important to right now get yourself together so that because you've already made the money that you aim to make. And you can do that in the first half hour, right? So was busy yesterday, and it was nice to get that. So I saw this all over the place. Investors are hoping to get a better assessment of the U.S. economy this week amid a flurry of data from the retail sector. Kicking off the festivities was Home Depot, ticker HD, which fell 2% on Tuesday after comparable sales missed estimates and guidance came in light. Shares of Target don't appear to be faring any better, while a soft forecast was issued due to inventory impacts and retail theft. I mean, I might restart Thinkorswim here because we're moving a little bit slowly. Thinkorswim acting like it had a late night like me. So I think I'll restart that in the background while we have this going on. But HD and TGT, both of selling, right? And, kind of just FOMOing in and weakness off of that continued move. This retail sell weakness is something that we might see across the sector. So if we have more retail behemoths reporting, we could see if this is something that is, just localized to Target and Home Depot, although it seems like overall this is just consumer trends that are affecting everyone, right? People are stealing from everywhere, and people aren't spending as much money on high ticket items, especially discretionary items, everywhere, right? They're buying the bare minimum that they need for their homes, and that's it. No flat screens, this, no that. In terms of spending habits, which I kind of got into a little bit, the macro data may be just as important as individual earnings, and many have an eye out for the figures as well. Data published yesterday showed U.S. April retail sales on their first upswing since January, but the 0.4% monthly expansion was still below the expected figure of 0.7%. In terms of year-over-year inflation rate for the same period, consumers have also continued to shift away from goods spending like furniture, home radar of the Federal Reserve, which is closely monitoring services inflation. Inflation hawks remain fixated on the slow services inflation, which remains elevated primarily due to shelter and transportation costs. But we saw the lowest level of price increase for this basket in 9 months from last week's report, counters seeking an article. Furthermore, significantly lower prices are already in the pipeline, which will result in here on the situation. Coming up, investors are eyeing more earnings from the consumer sector with TJX companies, TJ Maxx, reporting Q1 results today. Walmart tomorrow. Also, keep an eye on smaller players like Bath and Body Works. I always call them Bed Bath and Body Works. I don't know why. I literally cannot get it out of my system, and my girlfriend always laughs at me for it, but I literally always am just like Bed Bath and Body Works, Bed Bath and Body Works. We're going, we pop across the street to the mall. I'm gonna go in Bed Bath and Body Works. Does not exist, right? It literally does not exist. But I guess Bed Bath and Beyond, and then Bath and Body Works in my head just melded together, and I just can't get them apart. But we've also got smaller players like Bath and Body Works. Almost said it again. Whose ticker is BBWI, Canada Goose, whose ticker is GOOS, Foot Locker, whose ticker is FL, Ross Stores, whose ticker is ROST. So for a full breakdown of earnings season, check out Seeking Alpha's earnings calendar, which highlights EPS and revenue estimates, blah, 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 blah. Right, but TJX and Walmart reporting soon. TJ Maxx might actually end up being better off because they're a discount retailer. That is not a guarantee. It's just the discount retailers, right? I've talked about this before. During recessions or periods of high inflation or high interest rates, right? Typically, people shop at TJ Maxx, Dollar Tree, Dollar General, right? So sometimes those companies can do better on earnings because people are spending more of their money there. So maybe TJ Maxx ends up doing better, but you also have to look at the fact in which, are people with people buying clothes, like, are they just buying clothes less and that affects TJ Maxx, or, people buying clothes the same amount, they're just switching where they're buying the clothes at. That's kind of like what you have to think about in terms of gauging what to expect for TJ Maxx. But overall, again, earnings is always a crapshoot. Um, Walmart has tend to fare better than Target. We talked about Target all 2022 in that they just chose incorrectly, like their like inventory, how do I want to say it? Their inventory like palette, right? The inventory that they chose, Target has been trying to shift and it's turning itself into a consumer discretionary store instead of a consumer staples store, right? I was listening to the radio yesterday actually, and they were talking about how like Walmart, a lot of what Walmart sells is groceries. A lot of what Target sells is not groceries, right? Target's sales aren't groceries. A lot of it is discretionary spending. They're not focusing as much on groceries. And as a result, they kind of struggle because Walmart is much more focused on consumer staples, right? The things that you need to survive. While Target has been trying to shift to kind of be like, oh, hey, come in here and grab this stuff to make your home look nice and grab this decor. And people don't care about decor and making your home look nice and all that stuff when they're trying to put food on the table, right? So that is something that here, and am I? All right, I want to make sure that I'm not lagging. It looks like I'm lagging on my screen. I cannot tell if I'm lagging for you guys. Might just be for me. I don't know. Might need to just restart the machine at this point. Um, but let me see. Hopefully, I'm not. If you guys can let me know whether or not. Oh, that's also because I'm starting Thinkorswim. Okay, I might give that a second then. Thinkorswim takes up a lot of juice. But yes, let me see. Okay, there we go. A little bit better. But yeah, in terms of like Walmart versus Target, I feel like Walmart tends to fare better than Target because Walmart makes better decisions with the inventory that they hold, as opposed to Target, who, just kind of wants to be the new hot hip thing, but that's not what survives economic downturn. Now, in terms of merger and acquisition news, shotgun wedding, and by the way, with all those different companies reporting, right, something to keep an eye on with those post earnings continuation plays, TJ Maxx, Walmart, etc. Now, merger and acquisition news, shotgun wedding, UBS, ticker UBS, may be voicing some regrets over its rush deal to acquire Credit Suisse, ticker CS, during the height of the banking crisis in March. Looks like they might be trying to walk that back a little bit. While many of the disclaimers in a new regulatory filing may be worrisome, UBS shares hardly moved on the development, seemingly due to the fine print at the bottom of the document. Helping it absorb billions of dollars in losses, the Swiss bank currently expects to record a one-off gain due to so-called negative goodwill of $34.8 billion by buying Credit Suisse for a fraction of its longtime rival's book value. Elsewhere, Jamie Dimon said it is unlikely JP Morgan would acquire another troubled lender after buying First Republic Bank in a government-orchestrated deal earlier this month. Now, in terms of tech news, first hearing on AI. OpenAI CEO Sam Altman testified before Congress yesterday, emphasizing the need for regulatory intervention by governments to mitigate risks of increasingly powerful artificial intelligence models. As this technology advances, we understand that people are anxious that it could change the way we live, he declared. We are too, but we believe that we can and must work together to manage potential downsides so that we can all enjoy the tremendous upsides. While lawmakers didn't arrive at any specific proposals, several ideas were brought up, such as a combination of licensing and testing requirements or other frameworks. During the session on Capitol Hill, AI drama also broke out into the open as Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella replied to an allegation by Elon Musk that the tech giant, quote, has a very strong stay, if not directly controls OpenAI at this point. So it looks like we got some AI beef in the streets right now okay, you keep going in and out. There's no sound. Let me see here. Is there still no sound? Am I still lagging? Still going? Try closing and reopen. It worked for me. Yeah, guys, try closing the stream. Okay, it's better. I think it was the fact that I closed down Thinkorswim and I powered it back up. And if he, kind of second guessing whether or not they should have acquired Credit Suisse, that doesn't really trade either of those names either. The big news that I kind of just talked about was really just the first hearing, really the way the stocks are moving. It's just kind of like the first, open hearing and talks of regulation on AI. And that's why it's kind of important. But I think if you guys haven't seen some of the clips, definitely go look them up. Sam Altman testifying. It's crazy stuff, right? And part of it is definitely scary. He also has a startup that he's seeking $100 million in funding for. All right, I want to make sure I'm not lagging again. It's called WorldCoin. And basically, what he wants to do is scan your eye, like, hey, we need to establish a universal basic income because AI is going to displace so many jobs. So that's a scary thought, right? He's like, hey, my invention is going to change the world, but it also is going to displace so many people from work. Feel the need to literally establish a means of distributing a universal basic income. I think that is like very, very jarring, to be completely honest, to think about. The fact that he's like, hey, this thing could be, nobody has ever come out with an invention and said, hey, I also feel the need to come out with a way for everyone to get paid